So after reading through Twitter this morning, I feel like I'm definitely in the minority of people who actually enjoyed last night's race. Maybe I'm just one of these terrible fans who loves chaos, but I thought that keeping up with all the storylines throughout the entire race and the racing throughout the field, even though Dirty Air did play a part, I thought everything was really fun last night. And I usually make an immediate reaction on TikTok, but there was just so much to talk about that I don't think I could fit it into a 3-minute video. That race last night was the most chaotic and terrifying for individual fans that we've had all year. And look, I 100% agree that we cannot have these car parts breaking apart and tires imploding. And it was embarrassing for the pinnacle of our sport to be plagued with such issues that were pretty much out of the driver's hands in a playoff format. NASCAR is in charge of getting these parts and tires to the teams, and they need to come out and take it on the chin that this was their fault. And I think that would go a long way to calming some of the backlash from the fans. But I'm going to come to their defense a little bit here. These cars are a learning process for everyone, including NASCAR. And even factoring in the issues the car has had this season, you can never convince me that these cars haven't made the actual racing product better. I mean, this season, and this is just my opinion, has been the most exciting season I have experienced as a fan. And if this is how good the next-gen car is right now, imagine how great it'll be once they get an off-season to fix these bugs that they've discovered throughout the year. And I understand most people are going to say, these issues should have never been present to begin with. And I get it. But this car's development was pushed back a year due to COVID. The testing was significantly cut due to COVID. And overall, this car was rushed because of the factors like that just working against NASCAR. Yes, they could have pushed it back another year. But I think they were desperate to get this superior product on the track and get the next-gen era underway. It was a lose-lose situation for NASCAR because there are clearly issues that need to be ironed out. But I think it's ignorant to think that they won't be. Drivers are unhappy, and I understand why. But if anyone that should be upset, it's them. But fans are always going to pile on when their favorite driver gets screwed. And nobody had more right to do that yesterday than Busch and Harvick fans. Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick joined Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick as the first outs of this round. And they were all victims to tire and part malfunctions that ended their day. I have nothing to say on it other than I feel for those teams and the fans because nobody deserves to get knocked out like that, especially legends of the sport like Harvick and Busch. There's really nothing that I could say in defense of NASCAR over that. And honestly, at this point, Kyle Busch is probably ready to get this season over with. I'm sure he's going to be held out of meetings if he hasn't already been at Joe Gibbs Racing. And probably most resources will be allocated to the 20 and the 11 for playoff runs. At this point, I hate to say it, and I hope I get proven wrong, I'd be shocked to see Kyle get a win before the year's out, but at least there's brighter days ahead. The fallout from this race and the issues with it will be major sticking points for fans and teams for the rest of the year. But I feel confident that NASCAR needed this year to compile their data and figure out what adjustments need to be made to this car, and they will make them. But I'm over the negatives. It's time to move on to the positives from yesterday, and we finally saw Chris Buescher get that win that he's been teasing all year, finally starting to show the culmination of all the hard work that I feel Brad Keselowski has put in since stepping into an ownership role with RFK, giving us our 19th winner, and I honestly expect at least 2 more because I think Blaney, Truex, McDowell, Keselowski have all shown speeds at track we've got coming up, and at this point, I think it's super likely we get 21 winners on the year. But overall, to sum up my feelings on this race, I loved it. Despite the issues the cars were having, because the racing itself was electric through the field, and the storylines seemed to change every lap. And I know we can't have these issues happen in 2023 with the cars, but I feel confident that they won't. And I guess the only other thing I want to harp on real quick is I really wish we'd stop putting dirt on this racetrack, because a good race at Bristol cannot be beat. And if NASCAR raises the horsepower on short tracks in 2023, we're going to wish we had 2 of these a year. But fan support has got to go up. We've seen how beneficial it is and how much NASCAR looks at fan support when making decisions nowadays. But there were too many empty seats last night, and until they're showed that the dirt race isn't as successful as the concrete, we're not going to see a change. But what did you all think? Did you hate it beyond compare like many other people I've seen? Or did you enjoy all the chaos like me? Are you, I guess, a uncivilized fan like me? Tell me what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day.